I'm gonna stop back down here to one of my neighbors down the street, and she's got this garage sale, and she's really helping so she can get Christmas together. So I just want to kind of share that with you. Yeah, I'm gonna look at what I can probably get. I fill this food blessing box up at the bike trail. Yeah. And obviously they would take other things other than food. Right. You know, dish detergent, whatever. What do you think would be a good thing? Medicine wise, it don't matter.
Toothpaste is cheap. Everybody wants his toothpaste.
Yeah, toothpaste would be really good.
I have cheaper Gain of these if you wanted to
I
deal.
don't want to pay what you normally charge for this stuff. So I'm okay with that.
So toothpaste is 2 for $3.
Okay.
I have Gain dish soaps that size, but they're Gain and they're $2 a piece. I think I have 5 or 6 of those in the car.
Yeah, I think the toothpaste would be good.
Yeah, I do too.
How much is it? 2 for 3?
2 for 3.
That's good.
And I have toothbrushes. That might be good. I don't know.
My gosh, you get name brand stuff.
Chapstick because it's cold out, maybe.
That's a good idea. What's chapstick and stuff going for?
3 because there's like 5 in there.
Okay, $3. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go get some money.
Okay. I'm out here till 7.
Yep. Oh, you're staying up. You're staying up late.
I gotta make Christmas.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with that, especially when you got a son.
Hustle my ass off.
Especially when you got little kids.
That's what it's for. All of it. I said I'll freeze my butt off for him.
You know what? Is it going okay?
Mom, right?
Yes. Has it been going pretty well since you're not open today, and I know you was open last week?
We've been doing really well.
Good.
We tried the flea market. It was a dud.
Was it really?
A lot of lookers and touchers, no buyers.
I had the same experience with my company.
Yeah.
Flea markets don't work well.
Well, I'll grab that dish soap for you.
Yeah, let me give me that.
Oh, I have baby dish soaps too, the real little ones. If you're putting them in a blessing box, that might work.
Yeah, this box is pretty good size, but it'd be good to put that kind of stuff in.
All right, I'll see what I have.
All right, I'll be right back. Down in a neighboring house where this lady has these garage sales all the time. Her name is Becky.
Hello.
And she gets a lot of this stuff through couponing, and she gets a lot of stuff free, and this is a good way for her to make another income. So my heart goes out to her and Sean, because you know what, it's Christmas time and they're trying to get a Christmas together for their son. So I just think that's really cool. But I've got another lady. What was your name again, if you don't mind telling me?
It's Jeanette.
Jeanette?
Yes.
Jeanette, tell me a story about you being in a tent, how that worked out.
So we moved to Ohio 5 years ago.
Okay.
And we were supposed to go into a house, and it didn't work out. There was an aggravated murder in the house. And
Wow.
13 of us who had all moved together just didn't have anywhere to go. And I live in a small town, Greenville. The police didn't even know there
North
was a
of
shelter.
Greenville, yep, I know where that's at.
They didn't even know there was a shelter. And so finally somebody says, well, you know, you could set up tents at the fairgrounds. They'll rent you a space. There was a foot of snow on the ground, but at least we had a place to go. And so we parked all our cars around the tents to try and like huddle us in, and we got a hot plate, and we did it for months. And then we finally, somebody gave us a chance, and we were able to get into a house, and then I started couponing to get through college.
Wow.
So
you got your degree?
I do. I have a degree in social work.
Good
now.
for you. Boy, I was getting ready to say it has to be social work for you.
It does. But it was amazing. People didn't know the resources that are out there. People didn't know what to do when people were hungry. I said, I need hot meals. My kids are so hungry.
Yes.
And they said, well, we have a soup kitchen that's open Monday through Thursday. You can go for lunch. Okay, great. Where else? Where else can I go? I think we have food banks.
They're all over.
Great. Where? Like, we were so lost because we hadn't come from here. And then we got treated so poorly. Well, why did you come here if you didn't have a place to go? It was very hard for people to hear the whole story. Nobody really wanted to listen. That's
a story that I hear more and more. And as a Christian, it's our actions that matter to people. It's not saying you're a Christian that matters.
Yeah.
It's your works. It's your faith.
you know, we had very few churches that even wanted to help us, but there were people of a specific church in Greenville that were like, that's okay, we can make food at our house and bring it to you, we can bring you those hot meals. We want to show you what this community has, even if some of our churches or some of these places don't have it.
Showing God's love in a practical way. That's all it is.
It was the motivation that we needed.
Wow.
All of our kids were teenagers. They're all adults now. Some of them in college, some of them have gone on their way, but
you've been very successful with that story, with your kids.
It's a very hard story, but my kids have appreciated the world on another level.
You know
my
what?
Kids have a compassion that's unreal.
They've been through it. They've lived it. As I was telling Becky before, I've been on food stamps in my life. I know what all that's about. I know what food insecurity is, and until you've been there and done that, oh, you know, that person's just lazy. That's all you ever hear. I get so many comments on my YouTube channel. That person is lazy. That person doesn't. I tell them that people elect to be homeless also.
Yeah.
There's rich people elect to be homeless.
Right.
I got a guy come on my channel. He said, no, nobody wants to be homeless. I said, you have not interviewed enough people.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you know, to hear that story and your testimony about where you was and where you are now, and to do this with Becky, I mean, it's a sisterhood doing this stuff.
It is, and it's a compassion that it flows over to the people who buy our stuff, because it shows that we get it. Life is so
it's
hard
difficult,
and expensive, and why can't we pass on what we can do a little better?
You know, Becky had a problem with one of our neighbors here. I won't point the house out, but wanted to shut her down doing this kind of stuff. And I thought that was just horrible.
And I donate as well, like a lot.
And just what she did today, she gave me, she just added stuff to my bag here, and I'm giving her $20, and there's probably $50 worth of stuff here.
Or more.
Or more. She knows what this stuff costs because she buys it all the time. And, you know, my hat's off to somebody that can get out and do this couponing and do these things, and just people need to leave them alone. This is her business. This is how she survives. Part of it. Yeah. So her husband had a stroke here a couple years ago.
4 strokes.
He's had 4 strokes, and one of the nicest guys you'd want to meet. So I know these neighbors, and I reach out to these people because, you know, I've been here, done that. I was successful in business over the years. I was fortunate enough to turn my company over to my son and my grandkids, and to see that whole thing develop, it was really cool. But you know, I started out very poor, and we first got married, we had 2 kids right away, and I didn't even have a job.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm trying to support these 2 kids. So you've been there and done that, so you know what that means. Yeah. And so is Becky, I'm sure. So, you know, my hat's off to you guys for do what you do. I mean, this is something the community needs more of. They just need more of it.
We had more support like that. A lot of people are not as nice.
So, you know, when I go up to the blessing box, I'm going to be putting so much of this in at a time, and I'm going to mention Becky, and I keep forgetting your first name. Jeanette. Jeanette? I'm going to remember that, and I'm going to share that on YouTube, that you folks you're down into the grunt work. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. But anyway, I really appreciate you guys letting me interview you. And
well, thanks for coming.
And if you want to see my channel, it's called Senior Ministry E-Bike Nation. I mostly do these videos for senior people, riding those.
Okay.
Well, that's cool.
So they can get out and ride and exercise, and I mean, they're not cheap. That's a $2,100 bike, but still, this is what I do. Since I retired, all I do is ride my e-bike. I just left the green up there and doing some taping up there, but I just had to stop by and get this video made today, because I know when Becky's out here in the middle of the winter doing this, and you guys are doing this, it says something.
Well, our chimney is probably the best thing we've got going
right now.
Hey, it's staying pretty. Right here is really warm.
You got a heater right on your behind.
That's why it's so. Oh yeah, feel that one. And you can't get Sean to come out. He's probably in there gaming.
Yeah, he's gaming, but he came out and he's
good for him.
Some wood and stuff. I added some deodorant and dish soap for free.
Well, bless your heart.
Because I had a lot of it.
I didn't come down here to get all your stock.
I donate all the time, and it saves me a trip. It saves me a trip.
This
I
is
usually
true.
donate to the women's shelter.
And it's nice to spread it out. Like, we take my shelter in town, after we finally found out there was one,
Yes.
I'm friends with the manager, and so she always says, if you had a 10-year-old boy basket you wanted to drop off, or a teenage girl, then we could use those
Yes.
age groups. And
Yes.
so we always go in the Christmas time, and we stockpile all of their shelves and everything. But
It's amazing
I have
what people do.
teenagers that'll knock on my window door or my window at night saying, "Hey, do you have any extra food?
Oh my
Do you have
gosh.
some deodorant?"
To this day.
To this day,
Wow, that's an amazing story.
my high schoolers know, and nobody has to know. I've had many kids that are like, "Do you have any shampoo? Do you have some extra deodorant?"
You know, I never thought about that when I come up and say, well, Becky don't sell food. But it's this other stuff like women's pads and stuff.
Yeah.
That is in high demand. I mean,
Yeah.
guys don't need them, but women do.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I was up there one day putting some food in, and I come back about 2 hours later and everything was gone. So I said, well, somebody either took it all and didn't share with others, or somebody really needed it. But you see that every now and then. I mean, the church up there sponsors it. It's kind of on the bike trail, but it's a pretty good sized box. But I take stuff up there 2 or 3 days a week. It may be a couple things, a ramen noodle, a can of soup, or whatever. But it always
Everything's
disappears.
better.
It
Yeah.
just and people don't feel guilty going to them places because they're not going to a food bank.
Right.
They're not having to look anybody in the face.
There you go. I had one guy that I was trying to interview, and he said, no, I'd rather you not interview me. I said, that's fine, I get it. But, you know, I'm always open to interviews with people.
Yeah.
Because these things reach out to other people and show them there is a way.
You know,
There
my
is a way.
kids, we had to go volunteer at a soup kitchen, and we did a food pantry and everything after we got settled. We
Yeah.
continued to go and volunteer.
Yeah.
And my son, who was 16 at the time, he says, "Mom, do you know how hard it is to be on that side of the table and know the shame from the other side?"
Yes.
I said, "Yeah, I do, because, you know, I'm standing
Been
here
there, done
with
that.
you."
Yes.
He says, "I need to go to the other side of the table and hang out with those teenagers.
There you go.
I'm going to help
Especially
them pick out from that
teenagers.
side."
That's a fragile part of their life.
And he knew, because he had been through that struggle. He knew how they felt, and he was able to just walk around the table. "Hey guys, I got bags. Let's do
See
this."
there?
And he was right
And
there
they
with
related
them.
to him.
They related. So
That's cool.
people stepping in lets our kids grow. It lets us grow. It
Yes.
lets it be passed on further because they've experienced.
I don't call it stepping
firsthand.
out in faith. I call it stepping into faith.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, our works is dead without faith. We have to have faith that what God says will happen. And he always comes through.
I had cancer for 20 years. If I didn't have faith, I don't know that I'd be breathing.
My wife had a double mastectomy 5 years ago. March will be her 5th year. She'll finally be cancer free. But tell you, it's eye opening. She had a double mastectomy. She said, I'm not taking any chances. We're taking them both off.
I begged for that. I had pre-cervical cancer is where I started.
Yes.
So I had 16 pelvic surgeries.
How many years ago was this?
I have now been good for 6.
See,
So
you've hit that milestone.
I barely hit that milestone.
Good for you.
But I keep telling him, hey, can we just
right in between? I'm
take
sorry.
breaths now?
You're okay.
Let's just not even take this risk. I don't want this struggle again. I don't want the fear that comes with it.
You know, and my wife had fear when she first hear the cancer word. Of course, it's fearful. But she had a double mastectomy, never took a pain pill the night of the surgery.
Wow.
She had no pain. She had complete peace within herself because she knew God was right there.
Yeah.
And she's a very strong. I mean, I've been married 50 years to the same woman, so.
Well,
But you know,
I
it's
got to catch up. I'm only at 21.
yeah. But you made 21. Today. That is astounding compared to what some people. Questions they always ask you all day long. They ask you questions. Why this? Why that? Why this? Why? And after a while, you kind of get tired of hearing it. But they are learning from what you're doing by what they see what you do in your life.
When I was a kid, my dad was very abusive. And
Yeah.
so if your face looked like you were going to question why,
Oh boy.
it was a problem. So my kids always knew 100%. They could question anything
Anything.
I said, anything I did, 100%. But in that moment, if I told you, not now, you respect me enough to know that the situation isn't ready for it.
I bet your kids are very respectful around other adults.
My kids are amazing, and my kids are
That's
very
good.
informed. They were comfortable enough my daughter, who is now an adult, who's doing adult things, and
Yep.
got in a situation that wasn't quite safe.
Yep.
And she's like,
It happens.
I need you right now, and this is exactly everything.
Wow.
Everything. Okay, great. Let's do it. We have a trust van. If you are worried about my reaction, we will go sit in the van and we lock the door
Talk
and we
about
say
it.
what we got to say. And I don't know a lot of teenagers are that honest.
You're a strong woman, you know, but it took you to go through what you went through to be who you are today.
And I don't think I could have done it without my husband. He was the best
He was your rock, yep.
teammate. And now he's going through some stuff, and I get to
Yeah.
be there for him. And it's been an interesting life.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
wait till you're
I saw it.
70, 71 like I am, and your life is now at the other end.
The guy that came and looked for the Tim guy, he didn't send the money for the second stuff that he bought. He got me for $30.
Oh.
You can message him, reply
Not
to
on
the
Cash
other.
App, I can't.
You can reply to the other one. Reply.
That's terrible.
Because he sent me the 13.
That's part of life you just hate.
I trusted him. What did he say he worked for? I something energy? I'll call his work.
There you go. That's how you get his attention.
Like, I'm struggling and you're going to try to rip
Especially
me off.
all this work you did putting us together.
Oh, geez, wait.
Well, Becky, I want to thank you for this stuff.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot more than $20, obviously. But you know what? It'll go to good use.
Yes.
And I want to thank both of you guys for being who you are.
Here, maybe a kiddo might need a toothbrush. too.
Hey, you know what? I feel like Santa Claus has arrived today.
How much is the other?
All right. See you guys later.